just even if you chopping it up or engaging with this content, use that responsibly. And right now, what we have to hold our Black content creators responsible for on a daily basis is, I remember, man, Karen Hunter in Class with Carr. I highly suggest that podcast. Please check it out. Dr. Greg Carr, Karen Hunter. Their number one question is, at the beginning and end of each show, is, how does this free us? And what we have to ask ourselves is, on a global level, as Black people across the planet, when we're engaging and creating content, talking about relationships, yes, it's sexy and cool. I guess I'm not in that. But if you are posting that content, getting that engagement, those arguments and debates in the comments, that's dope. But ask yourself at the end of that, how does this free us as a people? And if we are constantly fighting and bickering just for engagement, monetization, do what you do. It's cool. But guess what? When you die, there's going to be another person stepping into your shoes, copying your content. Look at Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels gone. Shout out to him. Finesses only, rich and unemployed. He's killing it. But I realized, dang, he's the new Kevin Samuels. Bro, he's killing it. But I'm saying that that showed me, because I thought, man, like post Kevin Samuels, it was a wrap. He stepped in. So that shows me, and it shows us, that we got to leave a real tangible legacy. This whole red pill space, all of that, do what you do. But in that same breath, what we have to understand is we have to find a solution as a people. Black women have to understand that there are good Black men out there. Black men understand that there are good Black women out there. And we have to present ourselves in that manner, be in the right rooms, carry ourselves in a certain way. We don't have to be perfect, but carry ourselves in a certain way so that we attract who we're looking for. Be who we are. Stay on point. Stay thorough. Man, and just keep going. But understand, at the end of the day, when we're creating this content, when we're having these debates are cool, but we have to ask ourselves, A, what is our solution? And B, how does this free us as a people? Yo, good people, man. What's up? What's good? Blessed be host Caleb Smith. Aaron, we back. We chilling. We vibing, man. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. Feeling great, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, Aaron, the Super Bowl, it was crazy. And more, specifically as well, was Rihanna, right? Riri taking the news, blowing up. But something that was crazy as well was her Vogue cover, right? And we see A$AP Rocky, we see Rihanna, but Vogue has a very controversial history. I wouldn't say as a magazine publication, but I would say, though, when it comes to depicting things, and especially Black people. So if people don't recall, this was Bron, might have been, if I'm not mistaken, Bron and Giselle. If it wasn't Giselle, forgive me. But
the King Kong reference, right? Symbolism, right?
Come on now. So what people don't understand is, and shout out to Devin too. Devin's at the studio, y'all. Shout out to Devin. But Rihanna, seeing this cover made me think about Bron. And with Bron, how he was holding the basketball and the white woman in the arm, he's screaming. And if you put a King Kong photo side by side with that LeBron picture,
same thing, reference.
It's the same thing. It's referencing. And what people have to truly understand, and master teachers such as the great Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, man, I tell people, bro, study, because media is everything. Media is magic. And if we don't understand that the powers that be construct things in a certain way where it's a message always within the message.
Definitely.
If you don't know what's going on, it's a wrap. And Aaron, what was that film, bro? It was the guy with the shades, bro. And he would put it on and it would say, "Obey."
They live.
Come on.
They live.
If we aren't wearing those shades, if we aren't aware, then we don't know what is truly going on, right? So think about this, right? We got Rihanna in the picture. It was going crazy. Everybody's talking about it, debating is the Black woman in charge and all these other things. And it made me also think about this current space of content. Right now, everybody's talking about relationships, and it's Black women against Black men, Black men against Black women. And these things are controversial. They are very hot topicy, trendy, but it's like, in that same breath, are we finding a real viable, tangible solution. And as well, too, from seeing these conversations, yes, it can get the views, it can get the clicks, it can get the arguments in the comment section started. But what's not happening is we aren't truly realizing the bigger game that's at play of we're fighting each other. Black women feel like they need to lead. Black men feel like they aren't given that space to lead. Black women are feeling like that they're abandoned, so they're forced to be independent. Black men feel like, oh man, I can't just be a man around her. So we have all these different subsect arguments going on. And again, there's no solution. And then I feel like Rihanna, that was the overall microcosm of what our society has been going through, especially Black people, because in this one photo on the cover of Vogue, we see a Black woman leading, and we see ASAP, who was the man, bro. Like if we go back to 2012, 2011, he was the man. He had a great just overall trajectory. You could see it happening, and
he was on his way.
He was on his way, and now, bro, you see him as the guy who married up. And I think that photo, shout out to brother King Cam, from seeing that cover, it sparks conversation, because I found it very interesting. And again, just seeing a Black woman, Rihanna, who's a boss, billionaire, Fenty killing it, but seeing her leading and ASAP in the background holding the child, for me, that represented something that was deeper at play. And for all the people who have a podcast or people who have conversations, I think that also sparked something in me of seeing this space of, we're talking about love, relationships. Kevin Samuels, of course, just made this thing blow up even more. But I think that what we aren't getting at is, what is a solution for us as a people? Yes, we can keep having these debates, but if we keep debating, it's just like, Sonetta back in the early mid 2010s. It's like, yes, we can have great debates, but when are we finally getting to a set point of what's the solution?
When we land in the plane.
When are we landing the plane? So how did you feel about it, Aaron, when just seeing the cover and seeing Rihanna and seeing those things as well?
Man, so it's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot to unpack, because you hit on like a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but I like this though, because I like it because we're leading with art. This is what art history is. Even though it's like present, it's like fresh off the press,
for sure,
per se. But in due time passes, we'll look back on this, and it's art history. It's a piece of art, and we look it back. But art history is like you learn the history via the art. So it's dope that we started with the cover, right? So Rihanna in the front, Rocky in the back. Yeah, he's holding the baby, and she's like leading him, right? Yeah. Hey man, so I mean, it's a sign of the times, bro. Sign of the times. Right. So solution, I'm gonna get to that. What's happening now is just the ebb and flow of just how the energy flows, right? So like, all right, so a lot of podcasts and things like that. So we have the manosphere, right? Yeah. The manosphere was basically derived from just men, older men, just reaching out to other men, and mainly younger men, right? So they can avoid pitfalls that the older men faced in relationships with women, right? Yep. Mainly, there was the men's rights activists too. Basically, they were just banging on family court, child support, men being on birth certificates and not even being a father, and babies being put on them. Even if there's DNA evidence, they still 18 years, got them for 18 years, child support and things like that, right? So the space was created to reach out to men. So the other spaces before the digital realm was created was just locker rooms and barbershops. And just like whenever just the fellas chilling, whatever. So then they got, people started talking about these things in the digital space. So, and then years later, hence the manosphere now, right? So the women just started hearing this stuff.
That's true.
So in markets and energy, you have rallies and you have support resistance. So it's like, boom. So the women are like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. This is what is this going on? So they never really heard men's perspective or never really cared. You know what I'm saying? So now they're hearing all this stuff from just various topics. I'm not going to go too deep, but just with them hearing it, it's going to be some resistance a little bit, and it's natural. It's what's going to happen, right? At this moment in time, I think it's just, you just got to ride it out, bro. It's just like, if you're playing the markets, or if anybody trades and like you're in a trade and you're just riding a rally kinda, whatever, you're just riding the way, you just gotta ride it out kinda.
That's right.
And just let it go. We can't force like we can't you just gotta let stuff happen. You can't force it because it's just natural.
Let it play out.
You gotta let it play out a little bit and like time the plane to land, and then we can get to some kind of resolution, because right now everybody's full force and really not trying to hear no solution. They're trying to get their points out because the men. So you mentioned media, right? So trying to hit on some points that you hit. Media is definitely important. It's form of communication and stuff, right? So what's being communicated through the media, for like especially talk shows, like, man, like I just know like back in the days, like 90s talk shows, there's like Ricky Lake, there was Sally Jesse Raphael, it was like Oprah, Tyra Banks, blah blah blah. Yo, women
Montel Williams even had a show.
Montel Williams, he would even bomb on dudes, right? But it was free reign to bomb on dudes, and dudes just took it, just chill, whatever. Y'all got it, whatever. And then so now men start speaking, and then it's a problem, right? So then you talked about just men being men, and not, so now men are being men, and so it's toxic. And so
toxic masculinity.
Talking toxic masculinity, but it's just masculine. It's just men being men. That's it. So they just made up these terms. This stuff's not old terms. Like a lot of stuff they just make up, and social media throws it around, and it's like it catches. You know what I'm saying?
It's a hashtag.
So I'm a just land this plane, but then I'm gonna just ramble a little bit.
Of course.
Right. So basically, like the solution is it's in time, natural order always takes place. So right now, up until this point, the U.S. has been fairly a safe place. It's first world country, a lot of luxuries. Money flows and all that stuff, but pandemic hits. Just World War III might be happening with Ukraine, Russia, U.S. Power changes, China's their little kids is loading guns and all that stuff, and then
that clip is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're getting drag queens reading children's books to our children. So it's a lot of stuff going on. So the tides will turn, and natural order will always
it's two different worlds
kick in place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got that. Boom. So I'm gonna go a little place. So me, it's funny because symbolism is a real thing, right? And medium and if you go to the root word of media, it goes back to medium. And medium is what's used like to communicate through. You know what I'm saying? So it's ill how I'm going off a tangent, but
no, this is dope.
So like Ouija boards, right?
Yeah, I got the letters.
So what's a Ouija board? It's a board with letters, right?
It's a medium.
You put your fingers on it, put it around, and you're communicating with somebody on the other side.
For sure.
Right? It's a medium. Like, but we do that like all the time, like because we have keyboards. It's a board with letters on it, and we're communicating like through the media, you know what I'm saying? It's somebody on the other side. What's the other side? It could be the keyboard, it could be the laptop, it could be your phone, whatever like that, right?
For sure.
So I just wanted to throw that little tidbit in there because it's media, and media comes from medium, and medium is just like, communicating with the fingertips and all that. So I just wanted to throw that out there just for the people who are interested in that little tidbit, right? Because it's all connected, right? And then with like the symbolism of the woman leading and stuff like that, right? So it's a sign of the times because if you ask a lot of men, they was like, well, yeah, like the women will say it's patriarchal, right? But the men is like, well, what rights do men have that women don't have right now? It's like we have the same rights. It's not like we can do there's like a whole bunch of stuff that we can do that women can't do. Like we got the same rights and all that stuff, and it's cool. I'm for women's rights and all that stuff. I think most people are. Not trying to oppress. It's no big bad patriarchy, and a lot of men would say, "Well, this, especially the black community, is mad matriarchal. Like women been like pretty much doing their thing." Without resistance from men just letting them rock. It's like, hence phrases, cheaper to keep her, happy wife, happy life, all that stuff is because of the leverage of the family court. So dudes, they'll put up a little fight, but once that child's report, once the children are leveraged against them, they're just y'all got it, and they fall back. So been having a way. So now a lot of men's complaints is, women don't want to be wives. So we hold celebrities to a certain, status and all that stuff. Got the whole traditional thing going on versus non-traditional, modern versus traditional, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if I missed it. I'm not like super duper into, celebrity gossip and all that stuff, but I didn't know if Rocky and Rihanna is married.
I don't think that they are either because it said partner in the article.
Partner. Okay. So they're not married. So they're not husband and wife, but having children.
Yes.
And that's not like a huge thing. Like there's no pushback. There's no rage about that. Nothing like that. Not that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's not a thing, but let's say, I don't know, like Rocky takes a picture with some other woman, I guarantee, he's cheating on her. Yeah. How could he do that? But it's rage about stuff like that, but it's not rage that,
they aren't married.
They're not married, but it's a big iconic, couple that people know about in the entertainment world, and they're being congratulated on all this stuff, but there's no marriage and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of Christians going around. Just a lot, you know what I'm saying? A lot of religious folks around. They're into entertainment and supporting it, but not bringing this stuff up. And I digress.
No. All of that, bro, it was excellent, Aaron, because first of all, power of just media right now. Knowing who we are, as a people, and then seeing how we are going against each other, but then also knowing that this has been just a gradual buildup over time throughout the 90s, 80s. Shahrazad Ali, she tried to expose these things during that time period.
Been bombing.
And during that time period, you could argue that she was probably blackballed and went against heavy resistance during that time period. But I think, and this is always a thing that is so divergent between Kevin Samuels and if you just sit down, right, you can be on a date or talking to women and ask them, how do you feel about Kevin Samuels? You can get people that either support him or against him. But very rarely do you hear people say, of course, Kev, he would have his moments at times. But at the end of the day, Kevin still had some truth that he would spit.
Definitely.
Now, everybody's just completely in their right. If you want to say, I was against what Kevin had to say at times, that's fine. Yeah. But to say that he didn't have facts the same way a woman against him, she can have certain facts.
Definitely.
Our problem lies in that we are either trying to be too far on the left when it comes to black love or too far on the right.
Right.
Yes. Women, they can say things like, men ain't this, men ain't that, black men ain't this. Black men, they can say, black women are too combative or too this. They don't want to listen. But we cannot say that there are no good women and that there are no good black men as well. Facts. And I think that our problem has become through media that people have created platforms based on tearing whether it's a black man or a black woman down so much that we feel like that we have to take said side.
Right.
And I realized, bro, that our ultimate goal is to be one as a people. Right. And all right, here's the thing. We can tear down black women. We can tear down black men. But what's the end goal? Is it just a couple views? Is it some checks?
Right. So
what's the end goal?
So here's another thing I wanted to that you sparked when you opened a monologue, right? So we're mainly referring to an online space, right? But I'm seeing in real life, a lot of that stuff that transpires online doesn't really transfer into real life sometimes.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's more like an online thing. Yeah. Right? But like in real life, there's couples, there's people, dating. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff's going on. Like in real life, in the real world, there's couples out having fun, having healthy relationships and things like that. And a healthy relationship does include a little dysfunction because that's healthy. You know what I'm saying? The communication, the disagreements and all that, that's natural. Yeah. So, but that's going on in real life. But on the online space, the digital space, that's where like a lot of the bickering. Because like even if you're coexisting with somebody, everything's great. Your thoughts don't have to be exactly 100% identical.
That's not good.
It's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to focus on the common ground. You're going to have differences. So I think on the online space, it's all differences because it could be, I don't know, it could be a natural human thing where it's just like, you may think like the things that people do agree on or men and women do kind of correspond with is just it's kind of assumed. And then so we're just going to talk about like the differences. Oh, well, he said this, well, we do this.
Yeah.
It's back and forth. But a lot of things that are highlighted and there's really a magnifying glass is put on is just the differences, but not, highlighting that there's tons of things men and women agree on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you'll see that offline, like when you're out and you see couples eating dinner, smiling, holding hands, walking, like if you go for walks, you know what I'm saying? If you exercise, if you jog, like let's say like downtown or something like that, you'll see people just going on strolls, but you'll be seeing couples holding hands, walking their dogs, smiles on their face and all of that stuff. Now you see harmony there. Do they agree on every single thing?
No, they do not.
Hell, of course not. But it's just on the online space. That's really what's highlighted.
It's like
and
either
that's
I'm
what
staying here or I'm there.
Boom.
Yeah.
And just fingers just going off. Boom, boom, boom. Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. Just throwing off hate stuff, jokes, clowning. Look at this, look at that. This. So I just wanted to point that out.
Bro.
So it doesn't always, in real life, doesn't always equal online. And the digital space doesn't always equal in real life.
I needed that point because I'll tell you why. In closing, is that people have to truly understand and embody to a certain degree of knowing that a relationship is all about rhythm and everything. There's no, of course, it could be a set template, but there's no set exact template. Every single day is going to be like this. Every single moment we're going to do this. No, go with the flow, find that rhythm. And that's what's going to keep that relationship going. And I think right now, if you are a relationship podcaster, influencer, just even if you chopping it up or engaging with this content, use that responsibly. And right now, what we have to hold our Black content creators responsible for on a daily basis is, I remember, man, Karen Hunter in Class with Carr. I highly suggest that podcast. Please check it out. Dr. Greg Carr, Karen Hunter. Their number one question is at the beginning and end of each show is, how does this free us? And what we have to ask ourselves is, on a global level, as Black people across the planet, when we're engaging and creating content, talking about relationships, yes, it's sexy and cool. I guess I'm not in that. But if you are posting that content, getting that engagement, those arguments and debates in the comments, that's dope. But ask yourself at the end of that, how does this free us as a people? And if we are constantly fighting and bickering just for engagement, monetization, do what you do. It's cool. But guess what? When you die, there's going to be another person stepping into your shoes, copying your content. Look at Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels gone. Shout out to him. Finesses only, rich and unemployed. He's killing it. But I realized, dang, he's the new Kevin Samuels. Bro, he's killing it. But I'm saying that that showed me, because I thought, man, like post Kevin Samuels, it was a wrap. He stepped in. So that shows me, and it shows us, that we got to leave a real tangible legacy. This whole red pill space, all of that, do what you do. But in that same breath, what we have to understand is we have to find a solution as a people. Black women have to understand that there are good Black men out there. Black men understand that there are good Black women out there. And we have to present ourselves in that manner, be in the right rooms, carry ourselves in a certain way. We don't have to be perfect, but carry ourselves in a certain way so that we attract who we're looking for. Be who we are. Stay on point. Stay thorough, man, and just keep going. But understand, at the end of the day, when we're creating this content, when we're having these debates are cool, but we have to ask ourselves, A, what is our solution? And B, how does this free us as a people? Because if we don't have that end goal in mind, we look crazy out here, man. Think about how every other group sees us if we're always never on the same page, so they know I can divide and conquer. So Rihanna's cover, of course, everything that is presented to us through media, even unknowingly, bro, LeBron had no idea. He even said it. He had no idea about the whole King Kong reference until years later. And then he realized, dang, I got played. So Rihanna, who's a boss, she probably has no idea, but that image shows a Black woman leading. And yes, Black men and Black women can be king and queen, of course, but inside of Toni Morrison's words, that white gaze, that's who is being shown to. And when white people see that, or people at large who are non-Black, they see a Black woman leading. So How are you feeling, Aaron, in closing?
Yeah, I just second basically what you just said, you know, emasculating, bro. Emasculating. And I know a lot of women don't seem to really, they don't trip off that. They don't care. Like, for what I see, you know, I see women speaking up about it, you know, like here or there, spotty.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the majority, it's just like, so what, you know, she's bossed up, blah, 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 all that stuff. But, you know, it's pros and cons to everything, man. There's a lot of downside to, you know, women being in front.
It is.
And men being in the back. I know it's being championed right now by a lot of people and all this stuff. But, I mean, like I said, you know, the back and forth has to happen. It's a natural thing.
Yeah.
And then it'll settle. When it settles, you know,
it goes right back to its own
natural order. So
that's it.
Kind of can be like wasting time.
Come on,
just get back to the natural order. But
that's it.
You know, who am I, bro?
Man, hey, just
who am I?
What
do I know, man?
Look, man,
I'm out the way, bro.
Hey, it's best to be that way.
I'm out the way.
And man, we truly appreciate y'all. Aaron, we appreciate you, King, Devin, Sid, everybody involved. Thank y'all, man, for always joining in, tapping in. Stay encouraged, stay vigilant, and two, as well, on the way out, relationships. We can talk about these things. It's fun, it's cool. But when we're engaging in creating any form of content, whether you're interviewing somebody, creating a podcast, anything, ask yourself, how does this free us as a people, and what is our tangible solution? If we don't have those things, we don't have anything. We appreciate y'all again, man, for tapping in. Much love. Blessed be host Caleb Smith. Share this, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all again. That's another edition, Chillin' with Caleb. Peace.